Bestie, listen to this. We are a 2-income household with 1 kiddo under 5. We've had a rough go of it the last few years. Up to now, we've been sticking our heads in the sand about how much we owe due to our mental health. We're tired of letting it get the better of us. We're now more stable mentally. I have a plan in place, but would like to see what you would do in my shoes. The problem being, we were spending on takeaways because they made us happy. We would always spend too much. We are determined to break the habits we see are unhealthy and end the cycle of generational financial problems on both sides of our family, so we can raise our kiddo with a financially healthy mindset. Bestie, let's get into today's budget bestie. Hi guys, gals and non-binary pals, welcome to Budget with Ira. My name is Ira, and on this channel we talk about budgeting, paying down debt and saving up for the life that you truly deserve. If that sounds like something you like to watch, please consider subscribing to the channel because we do have a lot of fun over here, bestie. We really do. Today we're continuing my series called Budget Bestie. Budget Bestie is a series where people anonymously submit their budgets to me. I take a look at them and see what I might do if I was in their situation. This is not financial advice. However, sometimes when I say what I might do if I was in their situation, it can really help. And if you resonate with anything that was in today's video, please perk your ears up. If you have an opinion about how you might do this budget or how you think it would be better done, please make your voice heard down in the comments down below because it can be so useful to other people reading it. Having said that, bestie, let's go ahead and let's get into today's video. So on the form, they say that their main financial goal is to be debt-free and fulfill savings and sinking funds goals. Their main financial issue is that they kind of just want clarification on what their debt snowball might look and how they're using their funds appropriately. They've got a lot of bills and we'll look into those, but also they've got a fair bit of debt. Now the debt isn't actually a lot of money. However, it looks like there's quite high interest payments on these, except for the loan 2, where it's a family loan. So there's obviously no interest on that, but they say that it is another debt that's emotionally taxing. So it is kind of one that we need to get rid of as quickly as possible, just for mental health reasons more than anything. They've got some sinking funds that they're currently saving for, but I mean, we really got to look at their priorities, don't we? So priority number 1 is to get rid of some debt, and priority number 2 is to start building on those sinking funds. And I feel like we're not necessarily in a world with the income that we have that we can do much of both at the same time. So I feel like the most responsible thing to do is probably focus on one and then the other, but I've got a plan. So bestie, let's get into it. Okay, we're ready to get this budget down. There's quite a lot of bills in this one, so we're going for the A4 paycheck bill tracker that's available on my Etsy store. She has 25 sheets and there's less than that in here because we've been doing Budget Bestie with these for quite a while now, but let's get cracking. So first of all, let's move over to income. They have a combined income here, so let's put that in. So the combined income of them both together is 3,704, and then they get child benefit as well, which is 96. So really nice round number, ends up being 3,800. So there's actually quite a lot of bills here, so I'm just going to go ahead and list them all and I'll get back to you afterwards. Okay, starting at the top, they have rent, which is 975, pretty reasonable. Council tax, which is 134. They have this one here, which I put a question mark over. It's partners' bills. What are they? Are they subscriptions? Can we reduce them? What is it? Debt? What is it? I'd like to know what that is so that we've got a chance of reducing it. We've got car tax, 2 sets of life insurance, 2 sets of phones, and they did say that this is going down to £8, but later on in the year. We've got phone and water. Internet is 33, reasonable. Electric, which is 180, and they say they don't have gas, so actually that's how much I pay, 180 for gas and electric, so that seems really reasonable. Their car tax is really high. I'd encourage them to shop around for that because unless they've got into accidents or something like that, I think they probably could get that a lot cheaper. They got Netflix and Spotify, and I think there's only just those 2, so that seems reasonable. We've got TV license, takeaway, which is 40, and as we remember, they're real takeaway people, so that 40 is going to be a bit of a challenge. And then they've got money box, which is saving for either an ISA or a LISA or a pension or something like that. That's £100. Keep that, I definitely would. So this comes up to, let me move this comes up to 1835.12, which leaves them with 1964 88. So let's move over to envelopes. So they have food, and they say they do £50 a week, but they also pay for delivery, which is £3.95. So that's £203.99. They have petrol. I think they have one car which they share. They do £40 a week, which seems quite a lot. Maybe they're doing a lot of driving, so that's 160. And then they have tobacco. So I assume one of them or both of them are smokers. They do £40 a week, which is that's a lot. That's a lot on cigarettes. So that's £160. Then they do spending. So spending, they do £25 each per week. So that actually comes up to £200. And then they have pocket money for their child. So pocket money, and they do £5 a week, so that's £20. So that comes up to £743.99, which leaves them with £122.89. Now for sinking funds, they have car maintenance. So car maintenance, which they do £50 a week. Birthdays, which is £20, not a week, a month. So birthdays is £20 a month. They have clothes and shoes for their kids and them. So clothes stroke shoes, and that's £30 a month. They have Christmas, that's £30 a month. Disney Plus, I don't know why they've listed this as a sinking fund, but that's £10 a month. And then month ahead, they really want to get ahead with that. So month ahead, but they're currently contributing £0. So that comes up to 140 into their sinking funds, which leaves them with 1,080.89. So let's get into the debt. So for that debt, they have like a student overdraft, which they pay £100 to, but then they get £50 interest, which is wild how high that is. They have credit card once, their minimum is 50. Credit card 2, their minimum is 45. Loan 1, their minimum is £128.9. They have loan 2 as well, and the minimum is 0. So I'm not going to list that because they're not paying towards it at the moment. So what they pay to debt at the moment is £323.09. It leaves them with £757.80. So that's their current buffer. So as I said, you know, they were probably getting into a bad place with takeaways and their mental health and stuff like that. So that's where they were. So we need to make some changes. So let's bust out the green pen and let's get cracking. So starting with bills, I'd definitely question this partner's bill section here just to see how much of that is necessary. Is it really important stuff? Like, does it contribute towards our future goals? If it's debt, include it in the debt and get it paid off. If it's just like subscriptions and things, like, you know how I feel about that sort of stuff, but we're not in the place for it. The main change I'd make over here is takeaway. I'd actually up that because we've come from a place where we've been having a lot of takeaways really often. So cutting drastically down to 40, that's going to do a lot to us, especially if we are, I don't know, if takeaway is our treat, and we're about to go through a pretty intense debt-free plan. I would probably up that because as people, we like takeaway. So I think this is a takeaway family, and I'd probably just give myself more and just give myself a bit more grace with that. I'd move over here and I'd immediately cut that tobacco down. I'd stop smoking cigarettes. Your life is going to be so much better when you just cut it up, knock it on the head. So I'd start vaping in order to like quit smoking if that's what you want to do. But for two people, £50 is more than enough. And look at the difference. You're already saving £110 and you're feeling a ton better. So with those changes, we're actually adding to our bills. It comes up to £1,925.12, which in our bill section leaves us with £1,874.88. So here, when we've cut out tobacco, we're at 0. I would also change our spending money. So instead of giving us £25 a week, I give ourselves £20 a week. That's 160 just while we're in this period. I think food is pretty reasonable as well. So that comes up to £543.99, leaves us with 1330 15.89. Okay, so in the sinking funds, I think car maintenance is quite high. I'd actually be tempted to reduce it to 25. It's up to you. And then what I would do is I'd still keep all of these, because if they make you happy and they work for you, fine. I wouldn't actually do anything with month ahead yet. What I would do is I would work on your emergency fund. We need to work out how much it's going to be. So your total of your bills is 1925.12, and your total for your envelopes over here is 543.99. When you add them together, it's 2,469.11. So when you times that by 6, which is kind of what you'd like to have, you would need to have 14,814.66. So if you divide that by 24, if you want to save that up in 2 years' time, you'd look to be saving 612.27 a month. But you're not in that position yet. So I'd start with getting the first £1,000 down. So I'd do £200 a month while you still can. Obviously, we're going to have time to fill that up and do that after we've got out of debt. But what that means is you are doing £315 to your sinking funds, which leaves you with £1,015.89. Now, immediately what I would do is I'd work in an overpayment for this, because we need a lovely debt repayment plan. So overpayment, and what I would do is £676.91, which means that while you're in debt, you're chucking £1,000 out every single month. So that leaves you with £1,589. And that is the budget that I'd go for now. So to make it all make sense, let's go ahead and let's bust out the black pen again, and let's get this debt repayment plan down. So what I'm going to do is a debt snowball. So what I'm going to do is list all your debts down in order of how big they are. So first of all, at the smallest, we've got credit card 2. We owe £800 in total to that, and our minimum is 45. Then we have loan 1. We owe 1046 to that, and our minimum is 128.09. Then it's credit card 1, which is 1,200, and our minimum is 50. Then we have our overdraft, and we owe 2,000 on that, and our minimum is 100. And then we have loan 2, which is the family one, and we owe 2,500, and our minimum is 0. So starting off on credit card 2, when we add our overpayment of 676.91 to that, that brings our first payment of 721.91, which means that you paid this one off in 1 month. Just a little under a month, but it's all going to make sense in a sec. So we're going to call that a month. Then when we add that 721 to this, when we roll that over, that means we've got 850. And we're going to call that 2 months, because it's, you know, you've got loads of change left over. But when you add that to the 50, you have a new snowball of 900, and this is 1,200. So we're going to call that 1 month, because you're going to have the change from this one here. So when you add the 900 to the 100, sorry, you're going to end up with the full snowball at the time you pay your overdraft off. And that is £2,000, and that's going to go in 2 months. And then you've got the full snowball again to pay off loan 2, which means that that's gone in 2.5 months. So this is a debt-free in 8.5 months, which is wildly quick. But this family definitely has the capital to make that happen. So let's talk about what life might look like if we have a spare £1,000. So all the debt is gone. What I would then do is change this emergency fund to something like something a little bit closer to £1,000, just till we get to that 15k. And then what I'd do is I'd start to up our spending money, make things a bit more reasonable for ourselves. And then once we've got that emergency fund in place, and then when we've got good spending money and we're not smoking cigarettes and stuff like that, maybe start thinking about holidays and stuff like that, saving up for a home if that's what you want to do. But your sort of options are almost limitless once you've got rid of this debt, because even though it's only £323.09, that's £323.09 for a lot of your life. But if you clear it and get it done now, it's gone forever and you never have to worry about debt ever again. So that's what I'd definitely work on. So my priorities right now would be getting this debt down while still slowly working on an emergency fund. Once that emergency fund is gone, take care of yourself a bit better and get after this emergency fund. And then once you've done that, you've got like £1,200 all to yourselves every single month. You can save up for holidays, you can have you can do whatever you want. So that's what I would do, and I'd love to know what you would do down in the comments down below. Hi guys, gals and non-binary pals, thank you so much for getting through to the end of the video. You know I love it when you get through to the end of the video. Please give this video some love, make sure you like, comment, share and subscribe, and if you are going to comment, please use this emoji. What did you think of today's video and what would you do if you were in their situation? I mean, I think getting rid of that much debt that quickly is so achievable, and it's going to lift such a weight off their minds. And then having that extra £1,000 at the end of the month, they're going to be able to do some great things with that. But yeah, I think it needs some sort of shrinking down for now as much as possible, and a bit of a realization of who they are as people as well. So yeah, I wish them the best of the luck, and let me know what you would do if you were in their situation. Thank you so much for getting here, but an extra special thank you to the channel members and the patrons who make all of this possible. I truly mean it when I say without you I would not be here. Patrons get sneak peeks, exclusive content and significant discount off my Etsy store. Channel members get early access to videos, so if you'd like to join them and support me on either Patreon or YouTube, have a look at the links in the description. You will not regret it, bestie. That's all we have for this week, and until next week, I would like you to have a wonderful day, have a wonderful week and have a wonderful budget. Always remember, don't trust Ira. And bestie, I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.